Well, good morning, everybody. Bike Rider, Scotland here. So Friday morning, what is it? Friday the 21st, I think, and just leaving Moffat now. We've had the press here all morning, taking photographs of Hunter on front here on the ER6. There's a competition running in one of the Sunday papers at the moment to find Scotland's oldest biker, and some guy from Edinburgh, neck of the woods, on a trike who's 81 is kinda in the lead at the moment, but Hunter is 86, so he's been in touch with the paper. And the photographer guy's been out this morning and taken quite a few photographs up at the house, and then just another load of photographs down at the Ram in the middle of Moffat. So he wanted to get that back to Glasgow so that they could do what they do with the photographs, and it might be in Sunday's paper, I don't know. So he'll be pretty chuffed if he wins the prize for Scotland's oldest biker. And he is a biker. He that wee Kawasaki's done quite a lot of miles. It's used. If the weather's good, that bike's out, 12 months of the year. So he's, some people could try and win the prize just because they have a bike in the garage and it's never been out in 100 years. But this wee bike's been out a lot, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. You never know. Sometimes, the press will take a load of photographs and then nothing appears. Other times they'll take one shot and it's all over the Sunday, so just have to wait and see. So it would be kind of silly to get the bikes out and not go for a wee run at least. So don't know what he's got in mind. We'll probably just go up the service road here to Abington, maybe over Broughton into Biggar, and something like that, just maybe 50 or 60 miles. I can't be out all day anyway. I've got to be in Murrayfield this afternoon, so a few lorries on the service road. I must be dodging the Vosa checkpoint at Beaton. Probably nothing illegal. You just don't want a 40-minute or a 45-minute hold-up while Mr. Vosa and his friends at Beaton check you out. I put up a video recently, an introduction to IPSGA, and it was in two parts, because after about 9 minutes of part one the battery ran out. So part two was duly completed a couple of weeks back and been put up, and I mean I'm quite astounded at the amount of emails that I've had about it. People who they've never done any form of advanced riding or driving. I mean, why should they? It's not something that's actively promoted, I believe. You pass your test at 17 or 18 and just go off and drive, and you can, if your bank account's big enough, you can go and drive a Ferrari on day one, or go and buy an R1. A motorcycle that will do the thick end of 200 miles an hour, and you can do that. You don't need. There's no necessity in this country to do any form of further training. But anyway, I put that video up, and it was amazing the amount of people that came back and little points. What did you mean by this, and what did you mean by that, and I like this and I like that, and what have you. So I might put up something else. I don't know. If I didn't know how it would have been accepted. I thought it maybe have just died a death, but obviously not. So if people are interested, I'll put something up. Haven't even thought about what I'll put up, so I can't really do anything at the moment. It's a nice wee road. This it's the old. Basically, it's the old A74. And then when the A74 was made up to motorway, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that. The old road, or the service road, as some people call it, and the APR, the all-purpose road. Very quiet. It's very popular with bikes in the summer. I'm sure you will understand why. But at least you get a few bends. Not big bends, but you'll get a few bends and a wee bit more exercise than you'll get on the motorway. That's another nice wee road there, off to the right. The B719 over Greenhill Stairs and into Moffat that way, coming on the 701. That's a nice road. That was one of the main accesses into Moffat before the motorway. After they built the motorway, they shut that one, and they only have the Junction 15 access from the motorway. But it used to be you could access Moffat from either Junction 15 or the 719 there, so that's a nice wee run over the hill. It also takes you through the glen or the valley. I can't remember what it's called, but very, very popular with MOD and the RAF, and you get all sorts of things coming down that glen. You get the tornadoes, you get the single engine, single prop trainer plane. I don't know what they call it. Is it a Hawk? I'm not sure. Maybe the Hawk's the jet, I don't know. But you get them coming down, and you get the big transport planes coming down with, 4 propellers, very, very low. And I was out about the early part of this year, out with the dog on one of these forestry roads up there, just off the 719. I had my daughter with me, and we were miles from anywhere, going along one of these wee forest tracks, and one of these trainer jets, which might be the Hawk actually, not the bigger Tornado, but the smaller one. They were out. There was 2 of them out practicing, and they obviously saw us, and they said, right, we'll give this doggy walker a bit of a fright. And honestly, they came down so low, it was just unbelievable. You could smell the aviation fuel. It was very, very strong, and you could literally feel the heat of the, I think it's a rear engine, I'm not sure, but you could feel the heat of the jet, and it kind of goes over you before you get the sound. The sound is just a tad behind, and oh my, it was unbelievable. The dog got the fright of its life, and my daughter just jumped straight into the heather. It was awesome. And then he got his laugh, he got his kicks, and he pulled back on it, and the noise of the engine as he pulled back, and then he just gave the wings a wee wiggle to say, "Hi, I got you there, boy," and he certainly did. That's us up at Beatup. I don't think we've seen a car. The only downside of it being a sort of secondary road is they don't bother too much about the maintenance, so it's potholes on us really on this road. Yeah, so the photographer guy that had come down today for the Sundays took a few shots at the house, as I say, and Then we went down to Moffat and took a few shots down at the Ram. And he said, you know, we've toured. I mean, Hunter and I have toured a few times, three times actually, in France now. And he said, what have you got in mind this year? And to be honest, I don't know. He had the maps, so the photographs have been taken with the maps. You've got to watch that bloody roundabout. It's so greasy, so greasy. So yeah, some of the photographs have got the map of France, quite sort of centrally positioned. So no doubt there'll be a bit of a board meeting tonight or over the weekend as to what we plan for 2015. The last 3 years we've kind of done World War II and World War I type tours. Went to see Saint-Nazaire on the west coast, saw the submarine pens there. The year after that we went to see the Maginot Line, and last year we went down to Albert, which was the scene of Battle of the Somme. So I don't know what we'll do this year. We'll have to get our thinking caps on and see what we fancy. The Ardèche Gorge down in the south was looking promising when we spoke about it a couple of weeks back. Just take our time, take a couple of days to get down. Probably just get the ferry back again from Dover to Calais, and then just make our way down, maybe do, I don't know, break it at San Quentin or Dijon maybe, and then maybe Dijon on day one and then Dijon down to Ardèche on day two, something like that. I don't know. Just looking over at that matrix sign there on the motorway, eyesight fit to drive. This seems to be the latest. This is obviously their big push. You know, they're getting everybody to think about eyesight, get their eyesight tested. But that'll be the big push from now up until the 5th or the 6th, when the new drink drive limits come into practice. And then that'll be, I'd imagine that'll be the big push right up till Christmas. It was kind of strange, I thought, that the Scottish Government just kind of announced, oh, by the way, we're changing the drink drive limits from, I don't know, what was it, 80 milligrams per 100 millilitres or something. I don't know what they've brought it down to. I think they've kind of halved it, 50, 40 or 50, I don't know. But I didn't think they could do that. I thought there would have had to have been some sort of public consultation. I don't know, obviously. the powers that be at Holyrood decided they were going to reduce it, and well, looks like they've reduced it as of the 5th of December, I think. I believe it still stays the same in England. No doubt they'll reduce it as well, because I think we at the old 80 limit, we were about the highest in Europe. So I think the writing was on the wall, sort of thing, to reduce it. And again, it's opening a can of worms, I suppose, but you know, I know that a lot of accidents have been caused by people drinking and driving, and you can't argue with that. I wouldn't argue with that. But by the same token, if you had the choice, who would you rather go in a car but had had a couple of pints, or would you rather go in another car with another driver who wasn't a very good driver, but he was stone cold sober? Kind of no-brainer, really. I am not guilty of doing it, so it doesn't really affect me. Right, that's us at Abington. Just come up to the roundabout here, and then, what is it, 1, 2, 3, third exit, and we'll go along towards Broughton, I think.